And Oklahoma State fans, here's one of your guys, Collin Oliver, Oklahoma State at Big 12 Media Pro Days here in Frisco. Thank you very much for your time. How'd the day go?
It went amazing. I completed a bench press. I got a good 24 reps on there, and I did everything else at the combine. So I was pretty good with my performance today.
You were injured early in the year, and I know that just had to have that sinking feeling for you because this was a big moment in your last season. But how are you feeling now? How's everything going? I mean, 24 reps on the bench press, nothing to sneeze at there. And I know you were able to do everything else at the combine. So are you 100% now?
Yeah, there's a little, hamstring issues in there, but those things will get figured out. And, my foot's all good from the season. I played in the Senior Bowl real well. I'm on the road to recovery right now. So,
what are some of the conversations like that you've had, whether it's the Senior Bowl or out here, or just the process in between with scouts and NFL folks? What have they said? Good, bad, otherwise.
Yeah, good things. A lot about my play, and that they see me as a versatile player. There's a lot of teams that have me one spot, and there's a lot of teams that have me in another spot, and some teams have me at both spots. So it's been really great conversations. Overall, just the experience of being able to talk to people like that. Who have a say-so in your future, and getting able to sell yourself and stuff like that too. I mean, it's been a real cool experience. So.
Well, it has been a tough run in Stillwater, and I mean, that it's not breaking news, but it just didn't seem to make any sense. Sometimes you just have teams that fall apart. Utah had some problems. What happened?
It was a combination of things, but ultimately, you have to look past those things, and you have to understand that you had just a bad season. Our coaches were great, all, even the ones who had left. They were all great, and they meant a lot to me, just being there with them for 4 years and, growing up with them, they had a lot of my development as a man. So those coaches are great. It was one of those years. Mm-hmm. It was one of those years for us, and it was a tough one to go through. But, you go through things like that to be on the other side of them, which this next year is going to be very positive for that team. They don't want that feeling again. And they're going to work to get rid of that feeling. So,
what do we not know about Mike Gundy that we would have, you can base it on his outward? We've interviewed every coach. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. He's pretty private, when it comes to that. What would we not know about him that makes him special to players?
Yeah, he's real. He's a realist. He's a genuine guy. He doesn't do things out of, hate or out of bad feelings towards others. But he's a genuine guy, and he loves people. He is a person he's to himself, you know what I'm saying? And that's just who he is, and he's an amazing coach. He's an amazing coach. He's been doing it for a long time, and he understands the game very well. So.
How did you go about just managing through the injury and having to kind of watch? And did you go hey, I got to be a leader more than ever now, or kind of just how did you operate within the season, being unable to actually go out there and operate the way you wanted to?
Yeah,
Life will test you. It will turn your world upside down. Again. And again. And again. The only way to hit back is to stand up. Stand up every time. And say, I'm not done.
My boy Nick, we had a lot of scheduled meetings as a defense. We weren't performing very well at all, and we had a lot of scheduled meetings with the players just to see what our want-to was. And we had those throughout the year. Ultimately, it just wasn't clicking. And me and myself, I was a leader. I stepped up in that role, and like I said, my boy Nick was as well. He got injured. Yeah. He was in the same boat as me, so we kind of tag teamed together in that aspect. But ultimately, it was just one of those years for us. We had to sit there and we had to deal with it. And we were, like I said, we were still leaders through it all. Our leadership never wavered, but it was pretty frustrating to go to. I won't lie.
Well, you just played a couple of games, right?
Yeah.
What's it like? Do you feel isolated? Do you feel? I mean, I know you still know all the guys in the locker room, but when you're injured, you're not a part of a lot of the things. What was that like for you?
Honestly, I don't look at I feel like injuries are a part of the game. So whenever it happened, it sucked. It wasn't what I wanted, but it's part of the game. It was unfortunate it lasted after the first half of the second game, but it is what it is. I couldn't control when I got injured. So that happened, and I moved along just like I would if I was playing it. Personally, it was kind of different because I had never been injured for that long before, like in all my career. So it was different. It was an adjustment, but I didn't look at it any different than just I had an injury and I have to move accordingly.
You had 20-something sacks the first 3 years. You were on pace to have monster numbers in the end, so I'm sure the scouts obviously remember those 3 years too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So, you've played a little linebacker, you've played edge, and you worked out here with the defensive lineman. Is that maybe where they're pushing you, or is it just plug me in, I'll do what you tell me to do?
That's kind of what I'm showing, plug me in wherever. I'm an athlete, and I can do whatever I need to do to help a team win. If a team sees me as straight D-line, they see me as a straight D-lineman, I'm going to play defensive line. If a team sees me as a straight linebacker, they see me as a straight linebacker, and I can play linebacker. If a team sees me as both, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to play both. So.
And that's kind of where it's going now, is more guys who can you put your hand on the ground and run? Can you stand up and run? Do you feel in rush? You feel like you do both those pretty well?
Yes, very well. I feel like I do both of those very well.
What do you like better? What's better, hand on the ground or when you're standing up and you're just looking at the guy?
Yeah, one of the toughest questions I've had through this whole process. But honestly, I ultimately go down to pass rushing and the art of pass rushing. I've fallen in love with pass rushing and what it has to offer. And I love pass rushing. That's what I'll say about it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Do you work how golfers, you'll see people who golf, they're practicing their swing. Do you walk through your house sometimes and do a swim move or an under?
Corners, doorways. I mean, even in your car door, you outside your car door, you slam your shit and you there's a kitchen doors, refrigerators. The art of pass rushing as a whole is something I've fallen in love with. That's not to say that I'm still not in love with football and defense. But pass rushing is up there.
So do you watch old school dudes on YouTube and stuff like that?
Not really old school.
Okay.
Von Miller's, Khalil Mack's, Micah Parsons. I love watching those guys and seeing how they compete and seeing how they play football. It's really cool. So,
when did the NFL dream get planted in your head? How early did that happen? When did it become oh wow, that's actually a reality? That's actually a possibility for me.
It was planted in my head when I first started playing when I was 6 years old. Once I start something, I feel like I can do the best of it. And when I was 6 years old, I'm playing. I'm like, I'm going to do this for a long time. I want to go to the league. That's the highest level, and that's the level I want to reach. And beyond that, what was the second half of your question?
When did you realize, I actually may be able to do this for real? Yeah,
that was early. Early freshman year in high school. Yeah, I couldn't even go back to middle school. There was never a doubt that I couldn't do it. That'll be a better answer for you. So.
What are your expectations from this point until the draft in late April?
Just to take the process for what it is, enjoy it, take it day by day, and ultimately get on a very high draft pick and a very good team, and go from there. There's after this pro day, there's pretty much just recovery or continue to train, whatever anybody's journey is, but do all that stuff and leading up to the draft, watch the draft, get called, and go on about my team. So.
You are from Oklahoma City. You played at Oklahoma State. The state of Oklahoma obviously runs to your brother. Emery Winter, our producer over here, he's from Oklahoma City as well. What did it mean for you to be in the same place all that time? Because clearly, you could leave if things got bad. Nobody's stopping you. You can go anywhere else. But being in Oklahoma, why was it so important to you?
Yeah, I'm big on family. And during COVID, when we were spending a lot of time, I was spending a lot of time with my family. At the time, I feel like that was very important for me. And Oklahoma State had that same feel. They were very family-oriented, and they took care of their players. They cared for them like they were family. Obviously you got the money and all that stuff going down there, but I was well taken care of in Stillwater. And obviously there's other places that give other money, but why leave when you have the same amount of care that you can get in a place that you've been for a very long time. So.
You're the second player that we've had here that we mentioned what are expectations, or I maybe asked about the next month, and they said exactly what you said. All the hard work is it's in the barn. The hay's in the barn. Now, doesn't mean you can hopefully fly to some places or places come see you, whatever, but now you've done all the hard work and especially coming back from an injury. So good luck for being, and congratulations for being resilient, getting yourself back in a position to have this pro day and maybe whatever else you do between now and then, and have a chance to enjoy the process.
Got to.
I can't wait to see you hit a quarterback again.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been too long. I'm sure you're going through
I'm
withdrawals.
itching, dude. I'm itching. Hey, I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting God, and I'm taking it day by day. So
You got Caleb Williams a couple of times in one game, didn't you?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. Yes, I did.
Go do it again.
Hey, man, good luck. Congratulations on getting back to where you are. We'll look forward to seeing you in the NFL.
All right, thank you guys.
Collin Oliver from Oklahoma State with us on 365 Sports. We're at Big 12 Pro Days inside the Star in Frisco.